It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
All right, how's that? Did I completely leave this off? Wow. Thank you, Mike. Yes, that was a shortcoming on my end, so I apologize about that. And we're just going to start over. My apologies for the delay there and for the a little bit of screw up. All right, so first let me run over the the headlines for today's show, since I skipped that already. By the way, this is August the 20th, coming to you from my studio outside outside of Lynchburg, Virginia. I don't know how much of that got skipped. The lead story today, we're talking about Hurricane Erin and at least some of the cruise ships that are screwed up because of it. If I don't cover your specific ship, call me or email me and ships that have been affected. I think it's up to 18 now have changed itineraries. There was another batch this morning. We're going to talk about a bunch of them. A forklift rolls off of a pier, striking a cruise ship in Corfu. Margaritaville, an islander, narrowly avoids a disabled pontoon boat in Tampa Bay. Disney expands Galveston, San Diego lineups. A guest dies in a shuttle bus accident. Going to talk about a golden passport. The Air Canada strike ends and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today is National Bacon Lovers Day. I don't think anybody doesn't love bacon. Make sure you have some bacon today sometime. And this day in history in 1938, Lou Gehrig gets his 23rd career Grand Slam. If you're a podcast person, you can always access this podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for travel. All right, first of all, my apologies. I have a bunch of stuff from Hot Air Tom and Cindy. I have a bunch of several other people that I just didn't get loaded because this has taken me so much longer on this broken down computer until mine gets fixed. Hopefully I'll get it back sometime Saturday. Who knows? But anyway, that's at least I'm on the air. Again, my apologies for thinking I was on the air and I wasn't at the starting of the show, but we made up for that. All right, before we get to the news, on a personal note, I had my big meeting with my pulmonologist yesterday to get the results from all of these tests and crap I've been going through. I just can't remember how much of this I shared or not. The whole reason I was going through all these advanced testing again, they have already ruled out that I am not a candidate for a lung transplant, but there is a Zephyr valve that can be implanted in the lungs that could make my exhaling better. That apparently is where my problems are. Unfortunately, I got the bad news that I am not a candidate for that either. Capacity to operate the damn valve. So that got thrown out. So basically, there's nothing they can do to improve my breathing. So I'm pretty much stuck with what I've got. There is a possibility if my friend Sarah at the pulmonary rehab clinic can work out a way where I'm not walking, because at least I can't walk the amount of walking that was required when I was there before. It was a walking program. So we'd have to get by that, because I'm perfectly willing to walk to try to get walking going again, but you got to be able to breathe. And that's, the two don't work together. But I'm willing to go to rehab. I might also look at going back to the Y for the winter months. I don't know what their requirements are because I'm on oxygen now and in a chair, how suitable it is or not. That's another thing to check out. I'm comfortable. and I don't need my oxygen. It's hell to get out of this pool, my pool. It's hell to get out of, but it's doable. But then we're going into cold weather, and that's, I can't take the cold weather, the cold water. So we're going to see. At this point, I'm not sure. Not sure if anything can be done. So I just go with what I've got. Now they want me to do more of the treatment, which is what I have problem. My throat is gravelly right now. That has nothing to do with me being sick. I'm not sick at all. That's a result of the treatments on my breathing and throat. And it just, I sound like crap. And I don't feel a whole lot better. So I had to report back to my personal doctor yesterday, and they have consulted with the pulmonologist, also the cardiologist. They said I could take Tylenol with the blood thinners. Well, I do better off with John's medicine. Amigo John from Minnesota. But they at least came up with a medication that I can take on the days that I feel like crap or I have pain. So I'll pick that prescription up sometime today. So it was not a very, very good report, but that comes with the territory, I guess. The other thing that I was disappointed on, I had a nice offer from Royal Caribbean. I called to book the cruise, and I was too late. So I'm not going to get a chance yet to get on that specific ship. I'm not going to say which ship it is, but I'm starting to look now. The doctors all want me to get back to cruising, maybe not like I did for the 4 months this year, but get back to regularly cruising as much as I feel like I can, because I tend to do better with my breathing when I'm at sea level and on the boats, which I'm primarily in the chair at all times. It's debatable whether that's good or bad, but we'll see. All right, got some news stories this morning. So we'll get to that and look at the weather after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. All right, we're going to start off this morning. That's not the map I wanted up. We're going to start off this morning, if I can find the map I wanted. Let's see if I have that here. Add a file. Folks, I'm telling you, this computer's going to drive me nuts. So anyway, I'm loading up the right map. That map was actually from yesterday. Here's the one from today. There we go. All right, so the Atlantic is a mess. We've all followed Erin, as Erin went from, Category 4, it dropped back to Category 3, came back to Category 4 again. Now it's dropped down to 2 and strengthening again. So it might get back to a 3. Who knows? But it's currently, the pressure is down to 948. It's moving to the north-northwest at 11. So it did, in fact, make the turn as was expected. I thought it was a little late, but it made the turn. Currently, it's 100 miles an hour, unless that has changed in the last little bit. The it's located, the last report I had, it's located about 545 miles west-southwest of Bermuda. The winds are back up to 110. Pressure's dropped to 941 now. So it's strengthening again. Let's see. Of course, they're still talking about the danger of life-threatening inundation from rising water moving inland from the coastline. The coast is just going to be awful. It could be for a week to 10 days, folks. So don't think that this is going to get back quickly. Once the storm goes by, we're still going to have to deal with the water along the coast. Interest in Atlantic Canada should also monitor the progress of the storm as well. A turn toward the north-northeast is expected later today and tonight, followed by a faster motion toward the northeast and east-northeast by Thursday and Friday. The center of Erin will move over the western Atlantic between the U.S. and the U.S. East Coast and Bermuda, south of Atlantic Canada Friday and Saturday. So, as far as the main messages go, Erin is expected to produce life-threatening surf and rip currents along the beaches of the Bahamas, much of the east coast of the United States, Bermuda, and Atlantic Canada during the next several days. Beachgoers in those areas should follow advice from lifeguard, local authorities, and beach warning flags. Storm surge, flooding, and tropical storm conditions are expected in North Carolina Outer Banks now through tonight. The storm surge will be accompanied by large waves, leading to significant beach erosion and overwash, making some roads impassable. Tropical storm conditions are possible on Thursday along southeastern coast of Virginia. Tropical storm conditions are possible on Bermuda on Thursday and Friday. Interests elsewhere along the U.S. mid-Atlantic and southern New England coast and Atlantic Canada should also monitor the progress of Erin, as strong winds are possible Thursday through Saturday. So, folks, just count on the rest of the week's going to be messy from this. Just totally messy. All right. So now it's affected a whole bunch of cruise ships. Some of them I've got covered in the story, and some of them I don't. Again, if I don't cover them here, folks, please check in with your travel advisor or contact me directly after the show, and I'll be more than happy.
As Hurricane Erin rapidly intensified into a Category 5 storm, Royal Caribbean's Liberty of the Seas was forced to alter course, skipping a planned overnight visit to Bermuda and rerouting to Halifax, Nova Scotia, at Bermuda's Royal Naval Dockyard from August 18 to 19. The ship's itinerary was changed before departing Cape Liberty, New Jersey, on August 16. Far from Bermuda at the time, Erin's projected path posed a risk to the ship's route. While we will miss our overnight visit to Bermuda, we will now have an overnight stay in Halifax instead, Royal Caribbean announced. Guests were advised to prepare for cooler temperatures, with Halifax averaging 10 degrees Fahrenheit lower than Bermuda. For the change, the cruise line issued onboard credits ranging from $150 to $400 depending on stateroom type, plus $50 for each additional guest. Prepaid Bermuda excursions were fully refunded. Although Erin is not expected to make landfall, its hurricane miles across, larger than the Florida Peninsula, making it too dangerous for nearby cruise traffic. Liberty of the Seas will return to Cape Liberty as scheduled on August 21. The Norwegian Jewel cut its stay in Bermuda short by a full day, departing early to return to Boston ahead of Hurricane Erin's expected impacts. The ship's adjusted schedule makes it the fifth cruise vessel to alter or cancel a Bermuda visit due to the powerful storm. While Hurricane Fall, the massive Category 4 system is already affecting conditions far from its center. The storm's expansive wind field has prompted cruise lines to reroute for safety, with rough seas and strong winds anticipated. Norwegian Cruise Line has not confirmed if guests will receive compensation for the shortened stop, but safety remains the top priority as ships steer clear of the storm. The Norwegian Jewel cut its stay in Bermuda short by a full day, departing early to return to Boston ahead of Hurricane Erin's expected impacts. The ship's adjusted schedule makes it the fifth cruise vessel to alter or cancel a Bermuda visit due to the powerful storm. While Hurricane Erin is not forecast to make landfall, the massive Category 4 system is already affecting conditions far from its center. The storm's expansive wind field has prompted cruise lines to reroute for safety, located along Erin's outer bands. Norwegian Cruise Line has not confirmed if guests will receive compensation for the shortened stop, but safety remains the top priority as ships steer clear of the storm's wide-reaching effects. Island Princess will stay safe until Hurricane Erin passes through, which disrupts her 10-night sailing to the Caribbean and Bermuda. At the same time, Enchanted Princess has had to delay her return to New York from August 23 to August 25 because of the dangerous weather conditions. Enchanted Princess's delay will carry over to the subsequent 7-night cruise to New England and Canada. Norwegian Gem's arrival into Boston delayed. The ship was supposed to embark on a chartered music-themed sailing on August 22, but this has been pushed back to August 24. At least one Porsche has been cancelled as a result of the delay. Instead of trying her luck at sea, Norwegian Escape will stay within the safety of the Manhattan Cruise Terminal until Hurricane Erin passes. Because of this necessary change, ports have been removed and replaced from the 10-night sailing to the Caribbean today. Hurricane Erin is expected to bring strong winds, flooding, and dangerous rip currents to New York and much of the East Coast during the second half of this week. Carnival Elation and Carnival Venezia have both had itinerary adjustments due to Hurricane Erin. Itinerary impacts are being felt and at private islands, especially where there are no dock facilities. Hurricane Erin has been downgraded to a Category 2 but still has a massive wind field with impact center. Royal Caribbean's Vision of the Seas was the first ship to change her route, canceling a stop in Bermuda and instead heading for the Bahamas to avoid the hurricane's projected track. Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas has also, with the ship unable to make its call to Nassau on August 17 and headed straight back to Miami with an earlier arrival. Sailing from Norfolk on Sunday, August 17, Bermuda visit and is instead visiting the Bahamas for her 6-night cruise. Rather than the planned overnight in Bermuda, the ship will now enjoy visits to both Celebration Key, Carnival Cruise Line's new private destination on Grand Bahama Island, as well as Nassau. The new MSC World America, which just debuted from Miami in April, has shifted from her planned Eastern Caribbean itinerary to a Western. On her first sailing from New York following the end of her deployment from Port Canaveral, Norwegian Aqua cannot go to Bermuda as planned. The 4-night sail to St. John, New Brunswick rather than the Royal Naval Dockyard today. Have you visited Universal's mind-blowing new park, Epic Universe? This amazing theme park features 5 all-new worlds, including ones themed after Harry Potter and Super Mario. Book your scooter or wheelchair rental now to enjoy your Universal Epic Universe mobility rentals are 15% off for a limited time. Just call Scootaround at 1-888-441-7575 and use SRN 11137. In a rare and bizarre incident, a forklift plunged off the pier and struck a cruise ship docked in Corfu, Greece. The exact vessel, though Viking Sea, Aida Blue, and MSC Fantasia were all in port at the time. According to local reports, the forklift was parked on the pier when it suddenly began moving on its own, eventually rolling into the water and colliding with the side of a cruise ship. The 59-year-old driver claimed the unexpected mishap occurred. Fortunately, the damage to the ship was minor and did not impact sailing schedules or port operations. No injuries were reported. While cruise port collisions are extremely rare, they typically involve ships brushing against piers or other vessels under unusual circumstances, taking an unexpected dive. This incident stands out as an unusual reminder of the unpredictable nature of port logistics. A potentially dangerous situation unfolded in Tampa Bay on Sunday, when the Margaritaville Islander cruise ship had a near miss with a disabled pontoon boat carrying 6 adults. The incident occurred after the ship set sail on a 7-night Western Caribbean itinerary. As the Margaritaville Islander navigated south from the Tampa cruise terminal, a pontoon boat became temporarily disabled in the ship's path. With the cruise liner drawing increasingly close, the Hillsborough County Sheriff responded quickly, towing the stalled vessel to safety. Video footage of the incident shows the dramatic moment as the cruise ship loomed near during the rescue operation. 4 pontoon boat were brought to safety, and no injuries or damage were reported. The quick action by local marine authorities helped avert a potentially serious maritime accident in the busy channel. Carnival Festivale, the newest Excel-class ship sailing in 2027 from Port Canaveral, is officially open. Sailings now available to book. She will make her way home with a spectacular 15-day transatlantic voyage from Southampton on May 2, 2027, featuring calls to La Coruña and Vigo in Spain, Funchal, on Madeira Island, Tenerife in the Canary, before arriving at her new homeport in Port Canaveral on May 16, 2027. For any early booking on Carnival Festivale, email chilliefalls@gmail.com and he will contact you. Disney Wonder and Disney Magic will offer a combined 93 sail dates from San Diego and Galveston from fall 2026 through spring 2027. The rest of the fleet, including Disney Destiny, Disney Dream, Disney Fantasy, Disney Wish, and Disney Treasure, will remain in Florida and Singapore. To explore any Disney cruises, just email chilliefalls@gmail.com or call 434-258-9264. You've got 1 month left to save on mobility scooter and wheelchair rentals in Anaheim, LA, and Disneyland. These rentals are 15% off when you book by August 31st. This promo is only valid for rentals within 30 miles of our Scooter Around Anaheim location. For cruise rentals, fares, or conventions. Call Scootaround at 1-888-441-7575. Use SRN 11137. An elderly American couple were involved in a tragic accident at a cruise terminal in Europe, leaving one dead and the other with serious injuries. Was struck and killed by a reversing shuttle bus at the port of Livorno, Italy. Her 84-year-old husband is in hospital in a critical condition. The incident took place just after they got off a bus following a shore excursion in the city. The couple was reportedly guests on board the ship Queen Victoria, operated by UK-based Cunard. A cruise line has announced a new golden passport that starts at just $99,999 and allows for unlimited lifetime cruises. Villa Vi Residence's new Golden Passport introduces an age-tiered pricing model to help make the guests who hold a Golden Passport will sail continuous cruises around the globe. The sailings will last from 3 to 3.5 years in length and visit more than 400 destinations in 140 countries.
I'm somewhat confused on that story, because it says permanent golden passport business, and then it says it lasts 3.5 years. Well, 3.5 years is what's been advertising all along, but that's, I don't know, that's confusing to me. I'm not sure what that means. If you got $100,000 you want to go live on Villa, we can arrange it. Just call me. I'll find out how to do it. All right, that's actually going to end the news portion of today's show. Let's see if anybody is fussing at me in the chat room. All right, everybody was helping me get on the air this morning. Appreciate that. Mike's with us from the other side of the pond. Amy's with us. Sonny's with us down in Mississippi. Let's see. Everybody's saying it was okay. Now I can see in there. There's Cindy. Cindy's with us. Gretchen's with us out in Ohio. There's Bob. Let's have a great day. Thank you, Bob. There's Joanne. Joanne, good to see you as always. Gary, older than dirt, my friend. I hope the hurricane goes on and goes away and leaves you alone down there in Florida. So, Todd's with us. Good morning, Todd. And sorry about the one story that was duplicated. It would have been too much of an interruption for me to switch out of it, and because that was the starting of a larger story. So my apologies again for that. Kenneth with us says good afternoon to everybody. Well, it's not afternoon yet, Kenneth. It's still morning, but that's okay. Sonny says maybe Erin will fizzle before then. Yeah, it's supposed to head all the way over and hit UK eventually is what they're talking. The models they're talking. You know, once it gets in the Gulf Stream, if the Gulf Stream's strong enough, it can take this stupid storm all the way across and wreak havoc. So anyway, Gretchen says, I'm glad my cruise isn't until September 6th. Yeah, it should be long gone by then. Kenneth says, wait a minute, let me get it here. Kenneth says, hey, Chillie, is this storm going to say hi to Tom and Cindy, or will they be gone by then? That's a very good question because they're kind of coming back right into it, and how they avoid it, I don't think they know yet. So that's probably going to be determined today, and how they're going to weather when it comes across. And Tom and I talked about it briefly, but I have not heard an answer to that yet. I got a bunch of hot air time stuff for the show, and I didn't have the time or the energy after I got home yesterday afternoon and last night I couldn't do anything. Disappointment. Yeah. Anyway, the guy forgot to put the emergency brake on a forklift. Have them when you get off and you have to put them on. I remember doing it well the times that I've operated a forklift. And that was one of the first things they taught you was that emergency brake. So even if you are in perfectly level conditions, because you never know when that thing's going to belch and move. So, yeah. So, the passport would be perfect for Tom. Yeah, well, I'm not sure that ship would be perfect for Tom. Tom likes a little higher quality than that, I think. There's Roger down in Jacksonville. Hey, Roger. So I was looking at a cruise from Tampa and trying to figure out a schedule, and I had a time on my schedule, figure out some time to maybe do a side thing in Jacksonville or in Tampa, like a zoo visit, or one of the things that I'd like to do that I've just not taken the time to do in the past, and to try to make myself get in the habit of doing some of these of the land things that I want to do. And then the cruise was filled up. Well, the wheelchair accessible cabins were filled up. I don't know if the cruise was full or not. But I am starting to look. Now, again, folks, I'm back to my tightness. So it's got to be a really good deal. And this one was a really good deal. So and I'll look at some short-termers that pops up at the last month or so. Maybe try to grab those. Now I still have a conquest scheduled in October, so I do have one cruise, a shorty, coming up. Maybe try to find something around Conquest. It's a possibility. So we'll see. Anyway, all right, that's going to wrap it up for today, folks. Again, I'm hoping that my throat with this treatment eventually clears up. But I hate this. I hate the way I sound. I hate that I'm constantly clearing my throat and coughing. There's Jamin pops in, trying to talk my wife into going on a cruise out of Florida in January, February. She says it's too cold. Well, it's not cold down there. I like sailing out of January. I mean, you got to go south as well. I mean, you want to go to the Caribbean. You don't want to go, north out of Florida in the winter. We've got an next person with us, Sasha. Says, hi there, how are you doing? We're doing fine, Sasha. This is a travel and cruise industry podcast where we talk about travel issues and cruising all around the world. Hey, Chillie, we're going on the gym in January out of Jacksonville. Yeah, I know that. I've got that on my list as a possibility. But I think the one you're on conflicts with my MSC that I have in February. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm starting to look now. I still have a couple health issues. Like I'm going to the eye doctor tomorrow. So that'll be getting new glasses. And then we'll see if I get started back in the therapy, the PT, physical therapy, and see how that goes. And I guess I need to visit the wife while maybe I'm coming back from the eye doctors tomorrow if I'm not zonked out. Stop by there and see. I don't even know if it's possible for somebody on oxygen and in a chair, but we'll find out. So anyway, guys, thanks to all of you for being with me. That's it for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. All right, guys, have a great day. Have a great Wednesday, a great rest of the week. I'll see everybody back here on Friday. Have a great day, everybody. Until next time. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.